If you're a loan officer consistently closing 5, 6, 7 loans or way more a month, you're eventually going to hit what's called the invisible pain line, which is going to prevent you from scaling and doing more loans while also preserving a high quality personal life. And that's all about hiring superstar loan officer assistants. And unless you understand the skills that are involved in recruiting, hiring, training, developing, and multiplying A players, you will consistently hit your head on that pain line, causing you to be burnt out, which is what nobody wants. Over the course of my 20 plus years as a loan officer, manager, executive in the mortgage business, I have hired, fired, promoted, furloughed, laid off over 1,000 people in the mortgage industry. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you the 10 steps in a simple framework that will help you filter out all the B and C players that are out there so you can get the superstar support staff that you need. And finally start to double and triple your production while reducing your hours worked every single week. All right, so let's start with step 1 in your 10 steps of getting A players, okay? It's the avatar. You have to be first clear of what you want in order to get that superstar, right? So sit down and define the job role, the responsibilities, and the daily duties. Not a week goes by where someone doesn't approach me and ask me, Amir, this is who I want to hire. And I ask them, well, what is this person going to do? And they cannot describe them. If you cannot describe what you want, you will not get what you want. Okay. And in some of my other videos, I break down all the different roles of the different loan production partners with free resources for you so you can be very specific in who to hire and when to hire them. Now, you have to also clearly outline the compensation. There's always 3 tiers in compensation. There's salary, bonus, and additional incentives like commission to bring self-source business in. So the mechanics and economics of this position have to be clear in your mind and on paper before you go out to the marketplace, okay? Lastly, is to also understand in this post-pandemic world, what are some key prerequisites that are non-negotiable for you? Can they work onshore, nearshore, offshore, right? Do they need to be in office? What's the experience level? What's the licensing requirements, etc.? You cannot get to step 2 until you start with step 1. Step 1, defining your A player avatar defines everything. If you do not get this step right, nothing else will work. It's like baking a cake, right? You have to start with the main ingredient. Now, once you've done that, you can move on to step 2, which is the pre-search prep. The prep, right? You have to create a dedicated hiring email address like your name at so-and-so domain. Now, I would recommend that you get a second email because you might already have an assistant right now and you don't want your assistant in your inbox seeing resumes coming in of people that are going to replace him or her. So you have to be very professional around this and use some tact. Right? Now, from there, this is a step that a lot of people skip. It's recording a 2 to 3 minute video of you explaining this position, what the positional duties are, what the compensation range is, the prerequisites of this person, and your expectations. Now, some people fight me on this saying, why do I need to do that? Of the entire workforce, only 10% of them are A players. So they're actually interviewing you. The 90% are the B and C players. So you are putting great bait out there yourself to also attract the best fish in the water. The most professional, superstar loan officer assistants and employees are going to be attracted to you by what you put out there. So it goes 2 ways. Number 3 is to have a virtual bench, right? A virtual bench basically means lots of resumes will be coming in. So just because they won't be in hire now, you might be able to tap in 2 or 3 years as you build a pipeline of recruits to be able to go back to and to organize, all the resumes that you're getting. So you can use tools like Trello, Notion, Airtable, Google Drive, whatever it might be, okay? So once you've defined who you want, and then you create a step 2, which is to attract who you want, we're going to move to step 3, which is a critically important step. Now it's time to go after your star search, the candidate search, okay? I love the site wisehire.com, WIZEHIRE.com. It's a good end-to-end, seamless recruiting, hiring platform that organizes all the recruits, has all your recruits submit what's called a DISC test. If you watch some of my other videos, I describe behavioral insight exams and how each person has different qualities, and you have to make sure you have the right person in the right seat and the right versions of themselves. And this will be a report that will tell you, are they the right person for the requirements and the traits of that position? WiseHire also places the job posting across all the other common platforms out there, like Indeed and all these places. Once you've done that, the second thing you should absolutely do is to shout from the hilltops in your own social media. You just don't know. Right? You could post it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and say, hey, grateful for the support everyone's given me. My business is growing, and I'm looking for a really good licensed loan officer assistant to keep service levels high. Please DM me if there's someone you know in your network. I picked up plenty of people through word of mouth there, okay? Additionally, there's no reason you can't publish this internally within your company, depending on how big your company is. There could be a loan officer who's like, I'm done. I don't want to originate loans anymore. I just want to support another loan officer. Someone in the entire company might have a sister or a friend that wants the position. Why not? Additionally, you should be considering verbalizing this to everyone. When you're on the phone with your real estate agents, you're on the phone with your borrowers, there's no reason you can ask, hey, I'm looking to hire an assistant. You work at a staffing agency. Hey, you work at a recruiting agency. Hey, Mr. Realtor, I'm looking for this person. I have hired former borrowers that have closed with me. They have enjoyed the experience so much. Their job title was admin assistant at a dentist. We hit it off, and I'm like, would you consider this? You just have to ask. No one's going to get mad at you for asking to hire quality people to grow your business. And lastly, which I think is the last resort, is you can hire a staffing or recruiting company, but they too take a percentage of the salary when you hire that person. But at the end of the day, you got to be like an octopus with 8 arms out there looking for great talent, because great talent is not easy to find. It's like mining for gold through a lot of dirt. And the more crates that you have that are digging for that gold, the higher chances you'll be to find that person faster, okay? So that's the search step 3. Now, let's get to step number 4. You've gotten some candidates. You've attracted some people. The screening part. The screening part now is what's really important, okay? You will get a ton of resumes. So let's say you're on wisehire.com. The resumes will come in. You're going to have to block out time. The old saying, man, I need an assistant to hire an assistant, it's true. But guess what? You're going to have to get through that messy middle and give a little more time to review these resumes yourself, right? It's just part of the process. As these resumes come in, brace yourself, because you're going to be shocked how much riffraff is out there. You're going to see a lot of mistakes with those red little squiggly lines that people put in their Microsoft Word document because they have spelling errors. Quick scan of the resumes, okay? You want to look at the qualifications, and you want to do a quick scan of the DISC report. The biggest thing you're going to want to look after you see any grammatical errors or just poor visibility aesthetics on the resume is going to be the job stability. Obviously, you don't want kangaroos. You don't want people at multiple different jobs the last 4 or 5 years. Now, look, I know the mortgage industry causes a lot of extrinsic changes for loan officers and processors and loan officer assistants. That's beyond their control. But hey, you don't want to be the next person on someone's resume because they've only been with you for 6 months. There's a bit of discernment that a good high quality staff member should have before they pick a company. And 3, 4, 5 mistakes in 3, 4, 5 years is kind of a telling sign, okay? But you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. Now, once you have a great candidate, do a quick Google search, right? Just figure out if there is anything you see that might cause you concern. I've seen certain times where I've Google searched a candidate really quickly after they've gone to the resume screen, and I don't like what I see. I'm like, nah, you don't have enough insight to clean up your social media presence. I don't want that. Now, once you have a great candidate, this is one of my favorite parts of this entire playbook. You're going to have to reply to those best candidates and have them upload or send you a 3 to 5 minute video answering 2 questions. What attracted them to the position and why they feel like they're qualified. You cannot skip this step, and let me tell you why. First, you want to see if they can follow direction. 2, we are in a modern mortgage world. They have to understand technology. 3, you will be able to see how they speak. They are going to be speaking to your borrowers and realtors. They have to be able to speak professionally. 4, you will get to see their body language. You will get to see if their Zoom backdrop is clean, if their bedroom that they're in is organized. You will learn all about this because regardless, they're going to have to be on a Zoom interview with you anyway. You might as well fast track that dating process, right? To see if they can actually be technologically savvy, speak, and be able to answer the questions you gave them. Everybody shows their best representative at the beginning. They're only going to get a little bit worse as time goes on. If they can't give you their best representative up front, just imagine what will happen in 2, 3, 4, 5 months from now when you hire them. Okay? From there, you will send them a 30-minute Calendly link invitation to book a time to have an interview with you. That is step 1, 2, 3, 4. If you do not follow these steps accordingly, I'm telling you, nothing else will work. Now, it's time to make everything come to a head. It's the first interview. Okay? This is the part where a lot of business people, LOpreneurs, the alone officers that are by themselves do not invest in the skills of learning how to hire people. First, you get very good in recruiting realtors, recruiting borrowers. You work on those skills. There's nothing different around the notion of learning how to recruit people to work with you. It's a skill you're going to have to develop. And you get massive what's called pattern recognition. This is why I'm considered one of the best hires in the mortgage business, because I've earned a lot of mistakes and successes by reading people, thousands of people, and knowing within seconds if someone's a high caliber loan officer assistant or not, because it's just reps. Quantity time gets quality time. So you will have to get good at this skill, okay? What's going to happen is this. First impressions matter. Of course. Are they on time? Are they professional on camera? Are they prepared? They should be taking notes. Okay? At the beginning of the interview, you're going to want to build some rapport and some connection. Develop light rapport early. You're going to want to assess their warmth and energy. Don't overlook this. You have to trust them to be able to work with your borrowers and referral partners. If you don't like the first impression they give you, nobody else is going to like them. The L factor, the likability factor in business, is one of the most underrated soft skills to have. You have to like them for your own personal benefit. You have to like who you work with. You have to hire happy people. If they're not happy, you won't get happy results. So you have to first sense what kind of general pleasantries can we exchange. I have interviewed people where I can't even get them to give me 4 words after, how are you doing? How was your day? Where do you live? Right? Did you grow up there? You get 1-word answers. I'm like, dude, I can't even have a conversation with you in an interview. I'm definitely not hiring you. You need to be in compliance, in a cubicle, in a closet somewhere. These people need to be able to talk to people. Frankly, that's an important skill in anything you do. So you have to build some rapport. Okay? Now, structured evaluation is where things are really important. There's a structured interview guide that you will use for the 3 most important roles on your personal production team. Your LP1 is your administrative assistant. As I've talked about in other videos, this is like the hostess to the restaurant. Onboards new leads, manages your email. It has a very unique skill set. Your LP2, most important hire, is your loan officer assistant. It's like the waiter or waitress, knows the menu, knows all the guidelines, takes these orders, brings the food out. Then you got the loan partner 3, which is the loan processor, the chef. This is the person cooking up the food. They all are very different in their innate skills, right? And they all have different requirements. So you have to have different interview questions for them. So you will ask a lot of clarity questions, figure out if they're self-aware. This stage here, when you interview them, is critically important because if they are a licensed loan officer assistant or they're a loan processor with a personality, for example, that wants to be a loan officer assistant that's not licensed, you're going to have some verbal proficiency questions asked on that interview around their cash, credit, capacity, collateral skills. Now, if you've made it this far, it shows me you're really committed, and I have a little treat for you. If you go down in the description, you're going to have access to this entire playbook. And I've included the interview questions to ask for LP1s, LP2s, and LP3s for free $99. It's because you're committed and you've made it this far. All right, we made it through the first 5 steps. You can see how there is structure to things, and we just can't wing things when it comes to hiring some of the most important people in our life. If you're a first-time hire or you're hiring the second person on your team, how I want you to approach this is like a tutor for your child, a nanny for your child. This is a very important person you are hiring. So you have to take these steps in order to make sure you don't have any missteps. Let's get to step number 6, is the second interview. Do not get too excited. You have one perspective of the world. Other people around you have different perspectives. You have to get a second interview. If you have another assistant on your team that you really love and you want to hire a second assistant, that first assistant should be in the second interview. If you have a manager, he or she should do the second interview. If you have a coach like me and my coaches at Go Coaching, we do the second interview with you, right? Co-interview, right? Because it will confirm alignment and fit, and you will realize maybe you had some blind spots. And the second time someone interviews, you might really be able to get even more specific answers, okay? Now, once you've done this, this is a gem that many people across the country will reference when they say that Amir is truly one of the best hirers of talent. It's because of this little trick, this little secret tip that I'm about to give you, okay? After you've had the second interview, you can even use this after the first interview. If you sense that candidate is an A player or there's a chance that you're gonna have them for a second interview or hire them, you're going to have them do one assignment. And this is what you say. You say, candidate, I've enjoyed our time together today. I'm interviewing a lot of people, but everything I've heard thus far, I feel really good about potentially making an offer. I need some time to think about it, just 24 to 48 hours. But before we end the conversation today, I'd like to give you an assignment. Are you ready? When you say, are you ready? The best ones should say, I'm ready, and have their notepad ready to take notes. So pay attention if they write down what you tell them to do. I'd like you to send me an email by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Say the time and the time zone of when the deadline needs to be. I want you to type me an email and answer 3 questions. So this way, I really make sure I didn't lose sight in what's important for you. 1, I'd like you to tell me what type of culture you thrive in. 2, I'd like you to tell me what are your short and long-term career goals. And 3 is I'd like you to tell me what are your short-term and long-term compensation goals. So I'd like you to describe what culture you thrive in, what are your career goals, and what are your compensation goals, the 3 C's. This way, there's no confusion because whoever I'm looking to bring on, I want them to be with me for a very long time. And when people take the time to articulate their thoughts in writing, there's no confusion. I cannot tell you this is going to be the make or break in terms of you hiring an A player. A players are going to be interviewing you and you won't even know it. They're going to be diligent in terms of who they want to go work with. And what this does is it shows them that you're a thoughtful, discerning leader. And you really do not want transactional people. You want transformational people on the team. The B and C players will tell you everything they want to hear, and you don't want those people. But as soon as you get an A player, you're going to recognize, I got to go now from them selling me to me also selling them because they have options. All right. So I truly want to know, will this person follow direction? Will they give me what I need before 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow? What will they say about their career goals? What if they say, I really just want to be an underwriter in a year from now? I want to be a loan officer in a year from now. I actually want to launch my full-time photography business in a year from now. You're going to say, wait a minute. Well, that wasn't smart. They shouldn't have told me that. I just saved a ton of time. 3rd is compensation goals. You might end up offering them a lot less when somebody else is offering them a lot more. And then you're going to be, man, I can't believe I missed that. Now, here's the real thing that makes this sweet. Listen to this. You will A, find out, will they get you what you need on time? But can they actually type professionally? You want to see how they articulate textually because they're going to be emailing your realtors and borrowers all the time. Now, what if they use ChatGPT? Great. I love it. That means they're smart and resourceful. Got no problem with that. But you will find a lot of people will send you emails that looks like they didn't graduate elementary school. You'll be shocked. This is a very telling assignment. So you should replay this part a few times and remember when you do your next interview, okay? Where everything comes to a head. It's time to make the formal offer, okay? I want you to personally extend and review the written job offer live. Do not send this asynchronously. Send this synchronously. Get them live on a Zoom to go over it. I have seen so many people in the last 5 yards of getting the A-player football over the end zone completely mess up and fumble. Emotions are high. People are really scared and nervous to make a company change. It's a big decision. This is where you got to really get tight. If you send them the email offer without being on the phone with them, there might be something they see and they'll email you and say, thank you for the opportunity. I've decided to go a different direction. This will allow you to see their body language and to really make sure they feel good, because when you got a tiger by the tail, you can't let go. The A players are awesome interviewing as well. Superstars are shooting stars. You have to catch it while you got it, okay? You're gonna run the background checks. You'll do your credit checks. That's optional, right? And you're gonna close the candidate, especially if they're an A-plus player and you want them to start ASAP. Never have them start on a Monday. And if they're already employed somewhere else, always asking this question. What will happen when you go to your employer and you give your 2-week notice? Let's say they offer you more money. Let's say they get on their knees and beg and cry for you not to leave. What if they get you a brand new Tesla? What will you do? Have you really checked out from that company? A players are loyal typically. And sometimes their leadership doesn't take their screams of lack of appreciation, promotion, responsibility, freedom seriously until those business divorce papers are handed to them. And they'll do everything they need to do to keep that person. You have to future frame those possibilities to get a gauge. Are you really serious about making this change? Absolutely plant that seed when you make that offer. All right, so once you got them, it's gonna be onboarding day. Woo! Finally made it. Your life is about to change, because if you did these steps right, a great A player will show up with bells on, super happy, like a straight A student sitting in the front row. They're going to completely take so much time off you. Celebrate this day. Be really excited. And by the way, in between the formal offer and the actual onboarding day, you're going to want to text message the candidate. See how they're doing. Have they had any reservations? Have some people on your team, if you already have a team, text them as well and say, we're so excited for you to start. A lot of people are working from home. Get them on a Zoom with your team in advance. Start to program them, right? And groom them like they're already seeing them with the team. And everybody feels good about them. A lot of things can go wrong from step 7 to step 8 when you got an A player. Now, day they start, if they're not remote, give them an office tour. Have a welcome package ready for them. Have them complete an all about you form. An all about you form is a simple type form that talks about, hey, when's your birthday? What's your favorite charity? Who's your favorite author? Do you have a favorite sports team? What's your favorite candy? You get that stuff and you want to send it to their home as a care package. This is really important to make sure people feel warm and welcome, okay? The first day, go over your vision for the team. Go over the values. Validate them. So many people skip this step. You work so hard to go and source these A players. You work so hard to interview them. You work so hard to get them over the edge. When they come to day 1, you have to carve out an hour to make sure they're good and say, hey, I know you're going to hit with a lot. Here's where we're going. A players want vision. You want vision. You want to be around leaders that tell you where we're going. You have to remind them the values. Hey, just want to remind you, our team, we work hard. We're positive, okay? You want to go through that. If you can have a lunch with them, have it. Give them a standard orientation. And like I say, never have new hires start Mondays or Fridays. That's amateur hour. Mondays are super busy. Fridays, everybody checked out. Give them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as the start date, okay? Let's get to step 9. Like Denzel Washington, it's training day, baby. Okay, we got to train them. So keep this in mind with this word. You cannot get A players out of a vending machine. Even though they have the hard skills and the soft skills that you vetted them out for, they still have to get oriented. They still have to learn how you do things. They still have to learn you. You cannot get people out of a vending machine. It takes time to build A players up as well. This is where the training and developing and multiplying happens. Job's not done. You needed it. You're here right now getting training and development. right? We have to understand our team is going to match us. So Zig Ziglar has a famous saying here. It says, what if we train them and they end up leaving? Well, what if we don't train them and they end up staying? You have to train people. Your mind has to be wired where anyone that ever interacts with you, anyone that ever works with you and ends up leaving in the future can look back and say, man, he was a great leader. Many people say that about me. Now, not everyone's happy with me. 1,000 people I've hired, fired, promoted. It's part of being an LOpreneur. Not everyone's going to love you, but there are many people that have come through my path where I know they won't be with me long term, but I've made sure who they were when they left from who they were when they started with me is 10 times better. And I'm very proud of that. It's your mission to make people better when they work with you, whether they stay with you short term or long term. That's the mentality of a great leader. Okay. So you got to get in there, review their job description every so often. You should be asking them, hey, what are your top 3 job duties? And say it with a smile. Have fun. What you learn in fun, you never forget. Bring fun into your trainings. I like to do Steve Harvey Family Feud. I get my new staff members on my Family Feud time. Top 3 answers. What's your number 1 job duty? What's your number 2 job duty? What's your 3 numbers job duty? So they have to get that right. They have to be clear out the gate. Boss, I know what I got to do. You've exited my mind. Until they start rolling their eyes when you ask them, they have not understood what you need from them. Do their eye roll test and have a lot of fun with it. Don't be a dictator. Smile when you do it. Say, hey, I just got to make sure you know what my job is to go out there and promote and prospect every single day, 4 hours. I got to have 20 conversations a day, set 1 appointment a day. That's my job. The more you can do your job, the more I can do my job. We are a team. I shoot the basketball, you get the rebounds. You have to use fun analogies to build chemistry. You got to do a daily team meeting. Can't stress this enough. Otherwise, what will happen is you guys will trip over each other. So another video, I break down exactly how to do a DTM so you can get alignment with your team. Weekly trainings, okay? Another video, I explain what spot training, power training, black box training. You have to train your people. They're like your kids. They're like grown kids. If you have kids, you got to train them. You got to discipline them. You got to love on them. There's nothing different than having employees, okay? First 30 days, you're going to follow my system of you watch, I do. You watch, I do. You're going to see how I work. Now, if they're remote, lots of Loom videos, LOOM, where you narrate and screen record and send it to them. Lots of screen shares live together. After 30 days, it's, hey, you do, I watch. You go do it, I'm going to watch you. And from there, you do, we grow. First 90 days are very important. And you will know if you have an A player in the first 30 days. Because A players show who they are in the first 30 days. If you have doubts, there's no doubt. If you have doubts this person's going to be the one, you got no doubt that they're not going to be the one. You will know within the first 30 days. I promise you that. And you'll make some mistakes. You'll kiss some ugly frogs. You'll make some bad hires. This is not bulletproof. This is giving you the techniques, but you have to put them in play. And you'll miss some ingredients. But once you really use this as an outline, you'll get better. And finally, step 10, you want to develop and multiply people, okay? There's a famous study that's done that a majority of people leave their companies and teams for a lack of appreciation. It's not money. It's not responsibility. It's not time off. It's just appreciation. I want to be appreciated. You want to be appreciated. Every company I've left, it's because I did not feel appreciated. When I thought about that before shooting this video and I read that study, I said, that's so true. I never wanted to leave my companies. I just did not feel appreciated. I felt taken advantage of. I felt I was just a number in a spreadsheet. I've had people with me for years. It's because we created a culture of celebration. We have a Slack channel called Kudos. Every day we light that thing up. You have to catch people doing things right. If you want to discipline them and train them and correct them, you have to have a 4-to-1 ratio, 4 pieces of specific praise, 1 constructive criticism. But if you're only catching them doing things wrong, they're going to feel like, man, I can't do anything right. I have a helicopter manager. You have to learn how to catch people doing things right. That's the culture you want. You got to train them weekly. You got to do monthly team outings. You got to get together off-site quarterly. You got to do annual performance reviews. People want feedback. So listen, these are the 10 steps. I want you guys to hire fast, fire fast, promote faster. When you get superstars, they're shooting stars, hire them. Start interviewing people even before you think you need them. Great LOpreneurs, great entrepreneurs, they have what's called foresight. They know down the road what's going to happen. They're in the car, they're not stopping every single time, going out and paving the road. They're putting the road miles ahead of them. Your greatest pain point in the mortgage business is as you grow, you will hit a ceiling, a pain line around how much you can do in normal 24 hours that we all have. And the only way to do that is the most powerful word in entrepreneurship, which is leverage. And your leverage is hiring superstar players. You hire a superstar A player, they will give you 40 hours back that you can double into 80 hours. And you'll have your energy and you'll have your personal life. This is going to be a skill you're going to have to create. And if you abide by these 10 steps of hiring that I have here for you, you will absolutely save 10 years of pain and agony that I went through learning this and creating this. So smash the subscribe button because every single week I give 1 or 2 high quality videos for my loan officer audience to allow you to get to levels you could have never imagined way faster. In the bottom of the description below, as I mentioned, you'll have this playbook and all my interview questions. Let's go.